welcome back, or welcome if you are new. On today's video, we are going to be doing a furniture flip on this entryway table. I am Angela, also known as Chefette of Chefetteandlittle. On my channel, I post content some like this, where I'm flipping furniture. I also post DIY room renovations, and just DIY projects in general, as well as some motherhood content, kind of lifestyle and cleaning content as well. So if that is something that you're interested in, be sure to stay tuned. Today's video will have lots of befores and afters, which is always fun. And be sure to like and subscribe if you are interested in that kind of content. So I'm getting the flipping process started today just by stripping. I use the Citra strip. That's my preferred stripper of choice. And my hope was that I could stain this piece. I'll get into a little bit more later on about kind of where I was going with the design, but that was my hope.
Okay, so I just finished stripping the tall little entryway side table, and I'm even more puzzled now. So originally I was wanting to stain this, but then I was thinking, ooh, I really don't know this is going to clean up well, because it had been painted and it's veneer, so like it seems like there's some veneer finish. So I just was I decided I was going to go in a different direction. I was going to do a kind of like a white primer, and then maybe just the primer, or maybe the same color I'm putting on this lamp over here. I do not know. It's a Bear paint, but I don't know the name of it. If I can find it out, I will drop it below, but I got off like the oopsie rack. So and then I was gonna put like a hunter green on top, and then sand a little places so like a little bit of the white would show through. And I thought that would look really nice, and I still think that type of finish would look really good, but this is really cleaning up really well, and I hate to paint over wood that's cleaning up really well. So yeah, I really hate to do that because the wood grain is so pretty. So I'm gonna see how well this sands down. I'm not gonna do a ton of sanding because I think it's a veneer, so I don't want to over sand it. And then I'll make my final decision, because what I was thinking about doing was like mixing stains to come up with like kind of a custom stain. But I do need to do some veneer repair work. Let me see if I can get the camera a little closer. It's kind of hard to see now that I've started the stripping process, but this little part right here is like bubbled up. What I've been looking at doing is putting a moist towel down and then an iron on top, and it kind of like raises it up, and then shooting in some glue and then re-ironing it, and then it will kind of like push it back down, if that makes sense. And like same over here. This is really hard to see, but it's just kind of cracking almost. So what I'm gonna do, I thought I was gonna do the repair work first, but I'm actually going to finish stripping it. Like I'm gonna sand it from here, and then really see what I'm working with. Either way, it needs to have some repair work done, but like if I do decide to go in the direction of painting, the repair work will be a little bit less intense. But anyways, I need to kind of get more to the bare bones to make a final decision. But either way, I think it's going really good. It's clean. Like I said, it's cleaning up better than I thought it would, so that's kind of exciting. It is exciting. And then over here, let me go grab the hardware. So kind of funky original hardware, but I like it. I think it's pretty cool. But someone painted it. Don't paint hardware, please. I know people paint hardware. I just go get the hardware and the finish you want. Anyway, that's my PSA. I'm gonna try to strip the finish off in a crock pot. I've got a crock pot out here that's like dedicated just to workshop stuff. Like obviously don't put food in it. Please don't do that. So I'm gonna put it on low. I'm gonna put it inside though because the electricity situation out here is a little jimmy rigged, and it seems to be a little overwrought today because I was running a heater and it didn't like that. So I'm gonna take it inside and run it, and then also that way I have to go run some errands, so no one's gonna be out here. So I'm gonna put a little bit of white vinegar and baking soda and water and do low and slow for a few hours and see if I can get this finish off, or the paint off. It's like coppery paint. Because I think underneath is this patina, which will look BA. So I'm hoping it looks like this because that's cool to me. I don't like the spray painted finish. That looks kind of fakey, but this looks cool. So we'll see what it looks like. If at the end of the day, I don't think it cleans up well enough, I'll just get new hardware. But I don't always try to reuse the old, but I'm gonna try on this project. So I'm gonna run inside and get the crock pot going with these, and then go run my errands, and then I'm gonna come back to continue working on stripping this piece. But yeah, I'm really excited. I just kind of like it if I can restore to like the original wood finish. I just think it looks so good. So that was an exciting find today. That's just cleaning up so well, because I really did not predict that. I thought it was gonna just be awful and barely come off, and then I was gonna just do primer. Whoever painted this before did not. It looked like maybe it was only like one layer of paint, so that's probably why. I didn't realize that until after I started stripping it, but yeah, I think that's probably why it came off so easily, which is great. I think one of my coworkers gave me this piece of tape, this table to work on. I think what she said was whoever refinished it, she thought it was her mom, did not know how to do the veneer fixing, and so just decided to paint it instead of trying to fix it and then stain it. So we're giving it a shot. Okay, so we're gonna try out a technique to see if it works to get the paint off of this hardware. I've not tried this before. I've always heard this works, but we're gonna give it a shot. So I've got, this crock pot is just dedicated to workshop stuff. Don't worry. And then I'm gonna put some white vinegar. So there's just water and now the hardware in here. I'm gonna add some vinegar, just eyeballing it. Put the lid on, and I'm gonna put it on low. We'll circle back in a couple hours to see if it came off.
For the first time in ages, I wake up and don't hate it. I guess I found some peace. Through the day to the evening, without shouting and screaming, something new to me. Alone without being lonely, getting back to the old me. It's kinda nice to feel free.
Okay, so a little update on the entryway table. The drawer fronts cleaned up really well. So I did go ahead and stain these in the American Walnut stain. The rest of the table, it's just not cleaning up as well. And I don't think it's gonna take the stain very well. So I think I'm just gonna just do the drawers stained. And I think it's American Walnut. It's this Rust-Oleum American Walnut gel stain. I think that looks really good. And then I think I'm gonna go with my original, maybe second original plan of priming and then painting the table. Now, what I'm thinking of doing is doing one layer of this kind of like coffee milky white color, followed by the hunter green, and then scuff sanding a few places, so that this like coffee color shows through. And then I think that with the stained drawers, it's gonna look really good. So I think that's the direction I'm going to go. I was just working on repairing some of the veneer. It's like bubbled up in a couple of places. So I need to let this set, and then I'm going to do another sand. I just did a 150, and then I'm going to do a 220. I didn't want to over sand the piece because of it just being veneer. I just didn't want to like strip it too much. So, and I think it's done enough. And then I just need to sand a few pieces by hand a little bit better, like the legs in particular. And then I'll get to priming and painting. But yeah, I think it will look good. I really like the stain on the drawers. I just have to go to that route because I was like, well, if it looks bad, I can just prime it and paint over it. It's not a big deal. But I actually think it looks really nice, and I think it will look good with the rest of the piece. Provide a little bit of a contrast. So that's where we are. Okay, so the hardware has sat in the slow cooker for a while, but I ended up changing out the vinegar for baking soda. This vinegar really didn't do enough. The baking soda seems to have really done the trick. So this is really back to the original patina. Just have to do a little bit more scraping to get the paint off, but it's like just sliding off at this point. So this trick definitely works. Baking soda, water, slow cooker, and a crock pot I did it on low for like a while, like probably ended up being like 12 hours overall. So I'm just gonna polish these up once they are dry, and I'm planning to reuse them.
Okay, so I believe I mentioned earlier in the video, but I ended up having to kind of rework the design plans on this piece a couple of times, which does happen frequently when flipping furniture. So I had gotten this piece from a coworker. I happened to mention that to her that I do furniture flipping on the side, and she mentioned that she had this piece this table that she had gotten from her mom, and she would love to see it restored, but that she was just not going to get around to it. So she had mentioned that it had at least some veneer and it was damaged, and that her mom had painted it at some point. So I was hoping that I could do some veneer repair and um, strip and sand the whole piece and then stain it. But after stripping and sanding, it became quite clear that was not gonna fly. So I was able to stain the drawers as you saw, and I think that turned out really nicely. I used that American Walnut stain the gel stain by Rust-Oleum. And then I had at one point had a plan that I was going to kind of do like a 2-coat of paint on the body of the table and kind of do some like sanding in some areas so that the lighter shade would show through. I ended up not doing that. I just thought it would be too niche. And so since I am selling this piece, I didn't think it was going to be appealing to enough buyers, if that makes sense. But anyway, so I've moved on here, as you can see, to doing the repair work. So I have not done a ton of work with veneer before, but I did some research and I found these bubbled up areas that if you use a razor blade and you make a small kind of incision in the center of the bubbled up area and then inject glue underneath on both sides, they sell these little um, adapters that go on syringes that kind of like curl under. And so, anyway, if you do that and then you take a damp towel and you iron above the area, it kind of it repairs the veneer. The veneer kind of goes back down. You don't see the little slice that you made with the razor blade. And it's once again smooth. So that was a really cool trick. One thing I love about furniture flipping is with each flip, my skills get better. My skill set improves and expands. So I love that I got to get that practice with this piece. But it did This piece did require a lot of repair work before I could even get started on priming and painting. But alas, we are here. I've moved on to priming. So I'm using the Zinsser 123 Bullseye Primer, which is my favorite furniture primer. It just adheres really well. And it also adheres really well to kind of like all types of materials. So like plastic, wood, veneer, particle board, you name it. It adheres really well to it. And then I got started on painting. I think I did 2 layers of primer. I might have just done 1 coat. I can't quite remember right now. I usually just do 1, so I probably only did 1. But then I ended up doing, I think, 3 coats of this paint. So this color is, it's a unique color because I bought it at Home Depot on the Oopsie rack. It technically is the Bear Color Windsor Haze, but if you look at that color, it's more of a blue, and this is definitely more of a green. So I think that when they mixed it, they did not use the right ratios or whatnot, so it's kind of like a one of a kind color. Unfortunately, I will link the Windsor Haze paint color below. It is a pretty color, but it definitely appears more blue than this one does. This one looks a lot more green to me. And this color might look familiar. It is the accent wall. It's the same paint that I used for the accent wall in my son's room. So in between each coat of paint, I did a 400 grit light sand, followed by using the tack cloth to make sure I got all of the little gritty pieces up, and then I moved on to the next coat. And like I said, I did 3 coats total, and yeah, and then I'll move on to sealing it eventually as well. I think I did 2 coats of a satin. Actually, no, I used a matte. Yep, I did 2 coats of the poly in a matte finish, and I just did not want this piece to be super glossy, and that was definitely the right call, I think, for this piece, not being too glossy. So I will let the music play in the background here while we continue to do the work.
I thought this was over, thought I could control it, but if I speak the truth, I ain't over you. I was feeling sober until you came up now. I don't know what to do. I ain't over you. I ain't over. I ain't over. No matter what I do, I ain't over you. Give it time, things will settle. Just a face till it's better, yeah. Heard it all before. Even though we were toxic, feels the most when you've lost it. That's just how it goes. By myself feeling lonely, can't get back to the old me. I'm stuck in way too deep. I thought this was over, thought I could control it, but if I speak the truth, I ain't over you. I was feeling sober until you came up now. I don't know what to do. I ain't over you. I ain't over. I ain't over. No matter what I do, I ain't over you. I ain't over. I ain't over. No matter what I do, I ain't over you. Ain't over you. I ain't over you. And no matter what I do, I ain't over you. All the right words, words from your mouth, holding me tight, saying I'm all yours, but I'm feeling my gut. It doesn't feel right. I see in your eyes. Tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies. Tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me Let's talk about your ex. Let's talk about your ex. Baby, I'm in 100%. We've been a year, but you struggle to keep pace. Done everything right. My heart is a mess. Now you need to talk. Tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies. Tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies. Tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies. Tell me no lie, 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 lie. Let's talk about your ex. Let's talk about your ex. Tell me, are you really over her? Or am I gonna be the very next? I can feel your heart race to her name. I can take a lie, but I can take the rain. Let's talk about your ex. Let's talk about your ex. Tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies. Tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies. Tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies. Tell me no lie, 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 lie. Let's talk about your ex.
So as I was working on sealing the project with the 2 coats of the matte poly, I decided that I wanted to add a little accent to the drawers here and add some leftover wallpaper that I had. I used this wallpaper in our half bathroom and had it kind of left over as peel and stick. So I'm using it as kind of like a drawer liner here. But I ended up, before I put the drawer liners in, I ended up staining some of the rest of the drawer because the color was like really uneven to the outside of it. It was probably overkill, but it was kind of blotchy, so I'm glad I did it. And then I ended up having to do a little bit more sanding on the drawers so they would fit properly. I think when I started this project, it was in the winter, and we have now moved into the spring, and as you can see, I've gotten progressively more pregnant as I've worked on this, so you can kind of tell the passing of time. So anyway, I had to sand down one of the drawers so that it would fit better. I think the wood had kind of swollen a little bit in the heat. So that was the last kind of fix that I had to do to get the piece where I wanted it. And in just a minute here, we're going to be moving on to the before and after, so be sure to stay tuned.
I'll be dreaming about this